form when my throat concocts it. Glottal shocks hit like motor rockets when I quote in octaves from coded prophets. I fractal full, foams and bar ripped in clusters and spit scripts that glitch fiber structures. My sentence density bends event horizons. Every clause compresses dense design in it. I talk like a multiverse ventriloquist, twisting spit through split dimensions with infinite linguists. Linguistic mischief, I write in hieroglyphic liquid. Glips slip lips when my mind transmits it. I conjugate chaos through tonal decisions and format stanzas in non-local physics. I hijack data through encrypted cadence. Each rhyme line shines with a prism's fragrance. They mimic cadence, I mimic quasars. I teleport verbs through space-time radars. My phrase arcs trace Martian drum loops. One bar sparks like sun flares in Young's room. I mouth math maps with a laugh that blooms. Then backspin versed in the black vacuum. I teach tongue tricks to machine apostles. Morphing vowels in the beamed up fossils. Mouth like a vortex, breath like a gospel. Ball bends time like compressed apostrophes. Hostile Mercury mind with a Metatron jawline. Rhyme warhead designed in a core shrine. Core prime frame with a hypercoupe torque drive. More 5 planes with a sentence in warp time. Grammar like armor with armor that fractures. I conjure a karma that splits galactic matter. I whisper a word and collapse 10 actors. Reality shifts from the syntax pattern. I mimic a monk in the mecha suit cipher. Syllables spin like a Tekken loop fighter. I weaponize puns with a Zechariah lighter and burn new guards with a Nebuchadnezzar timer. I spit monads with a sonar choke. Quote Baudrillard in a rover cloak. My throat rewinds while the logo spoke. Then the beat folds twice as the locust broke. I flex through hexes and lexicon gates. Turn breath into steps in the metronome maze. With a mouthful of stress in a sentence that plays like a 10-string harp in a pelican's brain. I bend symbols through syllable stilts and milk sound from a syllogism's quilt. My spit box locks like a prism built in the pit of a monk that considers guilt. I twist ill scripts with a liquid twitch and lift syntax like a mystic smith. My flow forms glyphs in a viscous hiss. Every lick of this is linguistics bliss. I write spells in the grammar of warlocks. Transform sound with a hammer of thought shocks. Panther tongue when I answer with soft knocks. Leave time pause like a dancer and cough drops. I speak in frequencies trained for healing, but still sling bars that flay the ceiling. My cadence builds like a pain revealing, then cuts like dreams through a stainless feeling. I invert verbs and reverse their cases with a smirk so dense that it births new spaces. My mouth's an obelisk, words like razors. Rhyme so cold that it curves equators. I speak in the ink of collapsed equations and laugh at gods with my fractured cadence. I was born in the middle of a mental prison where the bars are decisions and the ward in this rhythm. Fall asleep in the cave of the cortical system. Then I carve my initials in the organ of wisdom. Neurologic profit, optically locked in the cosmic cockpit. Thoughts spin faster than protons in a hadron conflict. I snap bones with a laugh tone, drag drones through black holes and crack domes with saxophones. I baptize with the ash of the sun's eyes. Surfing gamma rays on the drum line of one mind. Every planet's a neuron in God's consciousness. I meditate until my chakra splits and monsters hiss. I don't box with fists, I box with scripts. I wrote rhymes on the back of a rocket ship. My tongue's a blade that the gods encrypt. I dissect egos with a conscious quip. Electric lung when I breathe, I disturb clouds. Earthquakes happen every time that a word's loud. First vow, never bow to a false king. Second vow, silence louder than all things. My bones are quartz, my blood is morse. My voice summer storms through the underworld courts. I converse with junk through subconscious doors. We met Freud in a dream, had a metaphor war. I astral project with a solar blade. God laughed when I asked him for a normal brain. I perform insane, train thoughts in orbital chains and transform pain into porcelain rain. I chew algorithms like tangerines while rapping from the chasms between shattered dreams. My spiritual sword is a phantom gleam. Slice Satan's jaw with a stanza beam. I stack chakras like Tetris blocks while quoting quantum fields in a session box. I make profits out of prison clocks and write scriptures on the ceiling of forgotten lots. All is mine. I tattooed the phrase on the ribs of a god trapped in a human cage. Take my lips shut and spoke through gaze. Walk backwards through life till I saw new days. On DMT flights I defined the beast, battling shadows while I rhyme in grief. I wore grief like a lion's fleece. Spit a 16-bar psalm that aligned the east. I dissect brains with a verse and a surgical scalpel. My journal's a chapel where the words form a battle. I'm a sentient pattern, a phantom of math with a chakra map burn in the back of a mash. tunes on my tongue, I digest the vast. Met Anubis in a lucid dream and wrestled the staff. I'm the reason why the Rosetta Stone crack. Wrote my bars in a dialect no modem could hack. My heart rates encoded in sacred chants. My breath generates shapes like sacred dance. No form, no flesh, just a radiant stance. I levitate in place with a radiant glance. In the court of the source, I plead divine. Where the laws ain't matter, they all is mine. I buried my name in the vortex cipher, found it again, written on a scorched papyrus. Brainwave sniper with a quartz visor. My mind does laps around thoughts like a sports timer. I bench press frequencies of curling tension. Memorized all 12 dimensions in detention. Every scar's a glyph in the war ascension. My third eye blinks Morse code in 4 directions. I freestyle in dreams and the floor collapses. Spit one bar and recept the law of masses. My aura passes through aura glasses so bright even gods need orbital passes. I died once but I texted back in a dead language only dead men rap. Made peace with the beast, then I pet the trap. Then I turned his teeth into emerald snacks. I crossfade spirit and flesh through mantra. Then ghost ride chariots across dark matter. I'm a sandstorm sent through a mind palace with a verse so rare it confounds time balance. I spit gems so dense that they dent your spine. Read the rhyme backward, it invents a sign. Call me the cipher sent from Orion's gate. Spoke truth so loud it bent the lion's face. My lines conduct electricity, but I write them in silence with mental symmetry. I'm a seer in a lab coat and metal crown. My shadow wears robes and lectures clouds. I tattooed all is mine in a Tesla coil. Dead my doubt to a spectral coil. Got a sacred skeleton with a radiant melanin-based intelligence. My aura generates resonance, weapon-grade benevolence. From a lineage etched in the breath of 1,000 elephants. My sentences shimmer like sentient gems in a velvet trench. I'm dipped in medicine, drip from the lips of remembered men. Encrypted lettering scribbled in scripts of a tempered pen. My speech is evidence gall, got a sense of adrenaline. Each bar a testament etched in the flesh of the seventh wind. I quote the resonance, echoes of pharaohs and desolate settlements. With effortless eloquence melting the metrics of measurement. My brain is gelatin stretching through galaxy sediment. In every skeleton segment's a blueprint of elegance. I walk with elements swirling like Tesla in reverence. Beneath my melanin sits a molecular testament. I spit intelligence tempered in depths of the Nephilim. Compressed in a sentence is blessed with celestial predicates. My mental engine's embedded with several sentient specimens. I breathe in elegance, exhale a vortex of reckoning. I'm like a revenant stepping through vortexes never meant to let a human ascend to the temples of intellect. I got a sacred skeleton tomb with harmonic inheritance. My bars reflect through dimensions like sonar experiments. My frame's a vessel of lessons and lessons are limitless. My spirit's powered by love and chaotic omnipotence. My spine aligns with the time in a planetary resonance. My teeth translate the dialects lost in the messages. My fingers flicker in fractals that fracture the pessimist. My hands decode equations from ancient confederates. I eat impediments daily with spoons of enlightenment. Digest the stress and stretch it into a tool of refinement. I use alignment to balance the talons of tyrants and loop in silence around every challenge I'm vibing. I got a sacred skeleton built from the arc of remembrance. My humor sharper than karma's revolving inventions. I joke in parables, laugh like I mastered the entrance to labyrinths crafted by fractured dimensions of penance. My aura golden like scrolls in the tomb of an architect. I flex on skeptics with questions that fracture their arguments. They marvel at the marvels my marveling harnesses, while I mock Mars with a Martian sarcastic astonishment. My bones are libraries housing galactic conglomerates. Each step I take reprograms the masses' astonishment. I spit in meters that speak to machines and astronomers. I thread belief through the grief of deleted astronomics. My skeleton's heavens and etched in a weapon of Genesis, blessed with the essence of infinite engine intelligence. Every breath is a lesson compressed in a sentence, reflecting reflections projected by sentient excellence. That remembers the things breathing, silica strands in my glands, that's the ink sequence. Thoughts link deep in my bones like script preachers. Clairvoyant codes in my chromosomes, fifth feature. Mitochondrial monarch with mantra-rich teachings. Ether in my genes, I dream with a drift thesis. I bleed data, my veins house glyph secrets. Born from the womb of a Stargate split thesis. I don't rap, I quantum collapse the beat's thesis. Transform beats into deep sea lit speeches. My spine's a ladder that climbs into ether plane. Each vertebrae carved with a teacher's name. I got deoxyribo strands from Elohim soil. Every cell in my skin's got dream coil oil. I was coated by breath from Orion's ink. I see language form halos when my iris blinks. If you cut my flesh, it leaks black stardust. Dark matter floods and the neurons charge up. Each pulse in my chest is a cosmic map. I got Saturn in my soul and my thoughts orbit that. I was born with the hum of the field inside me. That's why storms calm down when I speak calmly. I spit blueprints in the loops of a helix twist. Scriptures in the pitch of a phoenix hiss. I don't walk, I phase through space on the thesis drift. Guard in the blood like a seamless glitch. I decode math in my breath rate. Each side's an archive with a blessed gate. When I cry, I transmit waveforms that reframe time in a prime-shaped brainstorm. My genome glows with encrypted mantras. Every blink uploads from a gifted chakra. I transmute speech into plasma wires through a mouth that's shaped like a dragon's fire. My eardrums pulse with celestial drums. When I bleed, it echoes where the essence comes. I don't age, I collapse one frame per sun. I was grown from the void where the legends run. I spit chemical bonds in the bars arrangement. Every rhyme got a charge like a Mars engagement. My teeth are keys, my tongue's a scroll. My jaw decodes what the lungs withhold. I was born with a glyph where the heart should beat. So I chant in my sleep when the dark gets deep. I ain't human, I'm divine by gene. You see, I'm a floating fractal in the Vatican catacombs, cracking a staff of glass over mathematician shadow clones, spitting holographic patterns through shattered bones. I map Fibonacci spirals in the shattered stone, talking tetrahedron tones, thoughts triangular, minds a time warp pentagram mapped by a language analyst. I levitate above ladders, were crafted by ancient craftsmen, mathematic savages with palindromic passages. Collapse a nine-sided star into matter with syllables. I manifest blackboards from cliffs and parables. My mandibles clamp angles at 90-degree animals, unraveling angles of tangents in space mechanical. The flower of life blooms from my esophagus. I cough up esoteric doctrines locked in sarcophagus. Mirror the Metatron with metallic ink blocks. I box through paradox with equations that split clocks. The Pythagorean theorem is tattooed on my biceps. My triceps form rhombus waves when I digest. I flex on squares with octagonal logic. Pause and project optics that bend metrics beyond topic. Rhymes dense as a Klein bottle bending in plasma. The tongue folds dimensions through linguistic magma. My chakra system's a prism. I pitch prisms and shit prisms. Split wisdom in 6 rhythms with slick precision. Hemispheres hover, split brain Osiris mode. I count time backwards and rhyme while inside a code. I'm a golden spiral wrapped in a double helix. Speaking Vedic math and bars while I juggle Freemans. I orbit in Merkaba baths, coded in hex signs. Floating dead time, quoting math from the left side. Spit prisms out the pineal, bleed ink and icosahedron. Spit with a solstice rhythm, unfold the system. Syllables tessellate, bars interconnect like sacred shapes in a temple gate built by sentient mental state. I lay syllables through the vesica pitch this, baptize the beat in fire while I slice through the thesis. I'm the architect's ghost with a notebook of runes, each line drawn exact with a compass of moons. I diagram God's thoughts in a sentence, use breath to sketch the Akashic with 7-pointed dimensions. The verse spins hexagons, time moves counted. My rhyme loops collapse when the pentagram shatter. Every breath's a geometry lesson. I shape rhymes like dodecahedron confession session. My bars bend minds like Mobius strips. I spit circles that twist like the orbit of ships. Raps Euclidean demon glyphs speaking supreme being. The beat bleeds when I scream reason in dream regions. Speak through cubic thrones, my bones fossilized glyphs. My spit open stone doors with no locksmith. Inscribe my bars in a marble with stylish flame. My lines tilt planets and align the planes. Obelisks rise when I rhyme in silence. A triangle floats inside my iris when I'm the highest. I breathe in platonic solids, exhale tetrahedrons. Leave your chakra nodding in 11 deep regions. Sacred map maker, tracing divine math. My wrath is an angle that slices through time paths. Write stanzas in Sanskrit. The fraction mechanics move atoms by chanting. With fractal semantics, I built a Rayon's belt with a 3-bar scheme. Drew the Giza blueprint with loose leaf dreams. My tongue's a compass that cuts through dust storms. My lungs form storm charts inside a crushed orb. Stood on Saturn's ring with a mic and a whiteboard. Taught light how to write as it passed through a side door. I do quantum gymnastics with blackboard tactics. My punchlines graph in 4-dimensional brackets. My whole verse a fractal that replicates truth and folds into cubes with the breath of my youth. So when I spit, it's a ritual grid. I triangulate time with syllables split. The beat's a toroidal field. I rap through its current, pull energy from 0-point fields with a sermon. No mass, just math, pure code and flesh tone. Spit cones of gold from the throne of the gemstone. I measure the beat in radiance, circle through radiance. Every cadence a radiant flame born from alien gradients. Lines twist like serpents in temples of Mercury. Murmur deep secrets and verbal hyperboles perfectly. The cipher's my compass, the mic is my wand. Each phrase a construct that reshapes dawn. I walk through ley lines in 8-point boots. Spit truth so fast, it loops through loops. No booth, I record through crystalline nerves. Let the beat bleed out in Fibonacci curves. I'm the scribe of sound, architect of air. Spit tetrahedral prayers while I levitate stairs. Sacred shapes live, in the bars I flex. I press breath through dimensions you ain't charted yet. So next time you step in the cipher and speak, know the mic sacred math and the rhyme is the priest.